Most people understand that sunburn is uncomfortable, but there's a critical disconnect between what we can feel and see versus what's actually happening in terms of long-term health consequences. That red, painful skin you get after too much sun exposure isn't just a temporary inconvenience that goes away in a few days. It's a visible warning sign of molecular processes that significantly increase your cancer risk, even years or decades later. Let's start with what that redness actually represents. When UV radiation damages skin cells, they release distress signals that activate your immune system. Blood vessels in the area dilate to allow more blood flow, which is why the skin appears red. Immune cells flood into the tissue, releasing inflammatory molecules. All of this is your body's attempt to respond to what it correctly recognizes as a serious injury. The pain you feel comes from nerve endings responding to tissue damage and inflammatory chemicals. These aren't superficial symptoms, they're indicators that significant biological harm has occurred at the cellular level. Here's what's deeply concerning. The visible symptoms resolve much faster than the actual damage. Your skin might look normal again within a week, the pain disappears, and you might assume you've fully recovered. But those damaged cells, the ones with mutated DNA and disrupted regulatory systems, they're still there. They've integrated into your skin tissue, and they'll remain there potentially for the rest of your life. Every time you look in the mirror at skin that appears healthy, you could be looking at thousands or millions of cells that carry permanent damage from past sunburns. Research has consistently shown a clear correlation between the number of sunburns a person experiences, particularly in childhood and young adulthood, and their lifetime skin cancer risk. This isn't a weak correlation, it's a strong, dose-dependent relationship. More sunburns equals higher risk, and this remains true even when the sunburns occurred decades earlier. That sunburn you got at age 15 still matters when you're 50. What makes this particularly troubling is how easily people dismiss sunburn symptoms because they're temporary. We're psychologically wired to worry about things that hurt right now and to discount future risks, especially distant ones. A sunburn provides immediate negative feedback through pain, but then that feedback disappears while the actual risk persists invisibly. It's a perfect storm for poor decision-making about sun protection. The inflammation itself appears to be a key link between visible symptoms and long-term cancer risk. That red, hot skin indicates that inflammatory processes have been activated, and if you get sunburned repeatedly, you're repeatedly activating these processes. Over time, this creates the chronic inflammatory environment we've discussed, which fundamentally changes how your skin tissue functions and increases the likelihood that damaged cells will survive and progress toward cancer. Perhaps the most important message is that you should treat visible sunburn symptoms with the seriousness they deserve. They're not just indicating current discomfort, they're warning you about biological changes that increase your disease risk for decades to come. Every red, painful sunburn is your body telling you that you've exceeded your protective capacity and sustained damage that might never be fully repaired. The fact that the pain goes away doesn't mean the damage has been undone. Understanding this connection between what you can feel and what's happening at the molecular level should fundamentally change how you think about sun protection. It's not about avoiding temporary discomfort. It's about preventing permanent biological changes that could lead to cancer years down the road.